Hello Tubesters, it's Gav, welcome to another one of my videos. Today we're going to be looking at some Artizan 28mm German World War II paratroopers that I've painted. Only 4 of them, don't get your hopes up. They're actually for a basing tutorial that I'm going to be doing. Well, I'll be varnishing them after doing I've got to do a couple of touch-ups. I'll be varnishing them probably tomorrow, and then they'll get a basing tutorial, get based. And somebody asked me, one of the commentators, subs, something like that, they'd asked how I went about it, and I do show in different videos how I do them, and I have mentioned it before, and I wasn't going to try and write it all out, because I often do. People ask you a question, and then half the time they don't even reply with a thank you. I mean, this guy did, but I'm just saying, the times I've written out huge chunks of diatribe and they don't even come back and say thank you very much, and you just think, what a waste of half an hour that was. So it's just going to be showing how I base figures. I don't always base them the same. I base Napoleonic slightly different. I'll go into that when I do the basing itself. I've got these, as I've told you guys, sometimes I'll go on eBay and just buy a pack off anybody, really. It's not normally off the main dealers. It tends to be people that have selling on stuff. That's how I get a lot of the Wild West figures. As I say, these are the same manufacturer as the Wild West figures. So this is a command pack. I think I was ripped off with the postage, to be honest with you, but anyway, that's a separate story. I've really enjoyed doing them. I've done them. I took a break from doing the bust. The bust, by the way, I'm shooting this reverse again, so I think I've already told you the face. Yeah, I have. The face is already done in that. But I took a night off plus some other time off very late at night, hence bags, painting these guys. As I say, it doesn't eat into my commission time painting. I can't afford that. These really are side projects, but I will be basing them up and then popping them on eBay probably. But yeah, really enjoyable to paint. The weapons, I would say, are slightly heroic. I've seen them for years, and I was a bit, because I'm not always liking how the necks push forward. I always call it a swan neck or a goose neck, a bit, not 100% with that, but when you actually get them under the brush, they got a lot of character. I actually really like them. Should have painted them years ago. That they do some lovely Africa core figures, and I'll probably get some of those, but I might well paint a few more German paras yet. I've been enjoying doing those. Anyway, here we go again, Gav. I've already shot the video. Right, so yeah, this is just an announcement to say later on in the week, if you're interested to know how I base my figures, it's just how I do them. Everybody's got their own, and as I say, I literally swap and change basing styles to whatever I happen to need. But yeah, if anybody's interested, there'll be one of those coming up. So thanks for taking a look at this video, and I'll keep doing this. I do them, shoot them in reverse sometimes, and I'm already going over what I've already said. But thank you very much for stopping by and taking a look and supporting my little channel. It's really appreciated. I will be doing some shout outs, by the way, as well, hopefully this week, if the brain remembers to do them. If it doesn't, it'll be whenever I remember. But there's a couple of guys out there, especially smaller channels, that could do with a lift, so we'll give those guys a shout out when the time comes. Thank you very much. Okay guys, apologise for the different colour. I normally have my black backdrops. My wife decided she was going to take all my books out of my book cabinets in the other room, and that's where I keep my backdrops. She's changed everything around. I have no idea. So I've just had to get some scrap card, and we'll go with that. Anyway, it doesn't really matter, but just in case you're wondering what the difference was. Yeah, so these are Artizan Miniatures, so they're the same guys that do the Wild West figures I've been painting. I was never sure about these over the years. I wasn't sure about the chunkiness or the worst bit. They are slightly, like the weapons, in my opinion, are slightly heroic scale. I haven't got, in fact I have actually, just starting some work on some front ranks. Let's just get one down without taking him off his base. But actually putting them together, I mean, take out the, don't, leave the shako. The base thicknesses are roughly the same. They're actually it's very slightly smaller and far less chunky than these front rank Napoleonics. But yeah, the idea is to do, I'm very sorry if they ever stumble across this video. It was about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I did say it'd be a while before I could get to it. They asked me what I did for my basing, and I mention it a lot. And you've only got to trawl through my videos, but I said I would actually just show a video of what I was doing. So yeah, so these are, as I say, German Paras, and they are in a tropical uniform. When I was doing the research, I realised that, and I've only been looking at the Paras, their tropical uniform wasn't the same as the helmet. Let's get a pointy stick. Let's get one of my Ukrainian blue and yellow ones. Yeah, I was only using it to mix paint up with. It's just happened to go that way. But yeah, they're not the same as the sandy coloured helmet paints. They're a lot more yellowy, and that's what I've tried to achieve there. I've given this guy, I stuffed his, I'm not going to change it now. You can see the rain marks, as they call it, but they're angles and whatever, and then it's not particularly accurate, but it's accurate enough for a War Games figure that's on the table. You won't see it, but I have adjusted it, the other guys, which I'll show you in a minute. But I've given him a warmer colour camouflage. The ones I was looking at, they varied, so I've tried to make some variation in this. I've scuffed his helmet up a bit, showing the original blue-grey underneath. Now these guys come with a variety of, by the look of it anyway, I mean this is only the command pack, they come in a variety of boots and gaiters. I suppose they were trying to hit all marks, and these here, I'm wondering if they've deliberately put these to look like creases, but you could also paint them as the knee pads if you wanted to do the earlier ones. I don't know, I mean that's just me, my thoughts on it, but yeah, I've actually really enjoyed painting these. I've done them on the side along with all the other side stuff I've done. But I've painted on a few rank symbols, which this guy is a Oberleutnant, I believe, with the single bar under the wings. So that's that guy. This is the radio operator. It was weird, it took me ages to realise he was a radio operator, even after I'd primed them. I primed these white because I wanted to do these slightly brighter than I do normally. I think I've achieved that. So they're not going to be mucked up like the Vietnam figures. I've put dirt on them and all that. These are very clean. There's a couple of bits I need to, I mean they're still not varnished yet, as I say. There's, see here, that needs sorting out. There's a couple of other bits as well that just need sorting. A couple of extra highlights probably on these wires and things. He will have an antenna. They weren't huge antenna by the look of it, but I didn't want to do it until I'd finished the basing because I just knew I'd end up knocking it off. I might give him a brush hair antenna that are fairly flexible. I'm not 100% sure yet. I've given him the bluey type of gaiters. I've changed gaiters round on them just again to give them the difference. I painted the helmet covers. They came more or less looking like this guy, and I thought, well, I can't be 100% sure if that's meant to be a helmet cover or not. It's definitely not the earlier chunky helmet covers that they wore. I had a good research into that as well, and you had either these type of ones where they obviously use the camo material, put it over and stitched on some elastic for on the crown there and on the sides to put your foliage in. But you also had, and you had them where they just literally went over the helmet like I've done these. You had another type where the crown, let's just move this backdrop out of the way because she's struggling a bit. You had the crown where you've got the foliage bands, there's another stitching round which makes it a neat circle at the top. I didn't do that because I just thought it detracted from everything else with the camo and stuff. Yeah, I've really enjoyed these. As I say, they're not 100% finished yet. There's a couple of little touch-ups. I want to put a few scuffs on the radio and that yet. That's that guy. We've got, I can't remember if this is a lieutenant or a major. I've given him Italian camo trousers, just for a bit of difference. And again, the jackets I was seeing were quite yellowy, if that makes sense. And I quite like that, rather than just have that, you know, people a lot of the times you see them painted almost like the colours being painted onto the vehicles. It's a sort of Chinograph. I mean, you could say it's a fag, but I think it's a Chinograph pencil for his map. Put the old dotted scarf. Whenever you see reenactors, they've nearly all got the silk scarves with the dots on or whatever. That's him. And the last one, again, as I say, like the MP40 here, you know, they are quite chunky in scale. You either like them or you don't. I've actually quite enjoyed doing these. As I say, I did think of dusting them up, and I thought, no, you know what, I actually quite like these as a clean figures. When I put them on the base, they'll jump out on the base, I think. I'll do them with a nondescript, if you can call it that way, type of base that you could say is either arid Sicily or Tunisia, you know. They're not going to be on rubble bases, they'll just be the usual rocks and stuff, but I might do a couple of photographs just so that I've got a thumbnail to put on, but I'll obviously do proper photographs when I do the actual tutorial, which won't be a long one. I'm just debating how I do that. I don't know whether I do it with because the problem is if I do it the way I'm about to say, as in, you know, you have one base that's got putty on, the next base shows it putty, and I mean that would work, but it's going to take me ages to do it. I'm a bit reticent to do that, so I might just. But saying that though, you know, to do one figure all the way through, I have to wait for things to dry off, even if you're using a hairdryer. So yeah, we'll work that one out, Gav, when we get to it. So yeah, later on in the week we should have a tutorial up with these guys. I have painted the face of my US Marine. I've done the eyes and everything. Still needs a bit of work still left. The playing cards look like they're going to be an absolute swine to paint, because I've got to paint. It's not just a case of painting like it's a packet of playing cards, so you've got to paint what a packet of playing cards looks like, and you know, that's going to be more hassle than I could do right now, but we'll have to get it done. We'll have a bit more on the bike sometime later on in the week, and a bit more on the Badger as well. So thank you very much for stopping by and taking a look. I'm starting to drift now, so I'll take one or two photographs just to say, as I say, we've got, or even just off one figure like this guy, just so I've got a thumbnail. But look, you know, if you're interested. most of the guys that do that just do scale modelling and that, they're not going to be interested. But if you're after, you know, it's not rocket science, but somebody's asked me to, you know, give them some info, so we'll do that. Look after yourselves. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for all the support that you show me. I really appreciate it. I don't always say it, but you know what I'm like. I really appreciate you guys standing with me. So thank you very much. Look after yourselves, enjoy what you're doing, and we'll catch each other very soon on another video.